the Greek presidency concluded 67 pieces of legislation and advanced another 15 legislative initiatives where consensus was achieved between the Commission and the Council. This was done in 4 months instead of the usual duration of 6 months because of the Euro election. And we did it with a minimal budget of which not more than 40% was finally spent. Concerning Turkey, in the framework of the EU-Turkey Association Council, it has been underlined that Turkey's EU path depends on her fulfilling her EU obligations related to Cyprus. Now we are particularly happy that the next presidency, the Italian presidency, will take the lead and push all policies and initiatives further. We are very hopeful and optimistic that they will exceed all expectations, so that the year 2014 will be regarded by everyone as a very successful Mediterranean year, a proud year for every European citizen. In the last 3 years, my country has been seriously challenged. Europe was also challenged. Some were predicting the so-called Grexit, the idea that Greece should exit the euro. Some were predicting that the euro itself would not make it either. We proved them wrong. Europe worked. Our union has problems, but it also has the capacity to solve those problems and go ahead.
The situation in Greece and Cyprus has stabilized with real signs of improvement, namely in terms of the correction of very important imbalances. We all know this process has been painful. I would say that Prime Minister Samaras and his government, they know it better than anybody. But after these difficult and necessary reforms, Greece has now seen a further reduction in its deficit, has projected growth, has corrected historic imbalances in external relations, and indeed is recovering competitiveness. Despite the many prophets of doom, Greece has remained an integral, loyal member of the euro area. The decisions, I repeat, have been taken by all the governments, by the finance ministers, and at the end by the prime ministers of all our countries. So please, it's time to avoid these discussions, putting the blame in Brussels for the decisions that are taken by the governments themselves. I hope that they will have the courage to stand by decisions they take collectively. I really believe that Europe should remain open, namely to the Western Balkans. It will be a complete mistake for Europe, because of current difficulties now, suggest that we are closing our borders. We have to manage some specific challenges. Yes, freedom of movement is a sacred principle. We should combat any kind of misuse or abuse of the rights of freedom of movement, but it will be a real mistake for Europe to close down its borders.